Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the new MLS stuff that we're going to be talking about, checking out each individual card, because that is the main content for today. I might skip out on doing this content as like individual player reviews. It's more going to be a matter of whether or not I feel like it, because I'm personally not heavily invested in it. Like, I'm going to have that recharge thing for the MLS players during the time period. Not MLS players, but I'm going to have that recharge thing more for the FUT birthday cards when they come out, and then I'm just going to grind from there. But MLS, I'm not like crazy invested myself, but we are streaming right now to check out these cards, right? So there's a new SBC Mukhtar card. If we take a look at this guy, he is a 5'8" player, high medium work rates, right-footed, 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. In-game player traits, he has the flare traits, in-game attributes. This is the type of card I would probably just actually use in the cam position on a marksman, probably. Like, his agility and balance is really high, which is good. Yeah, I'd probably still give him a marksman, and I would just use the pace for what it is. Because if he's 5'8", he's a 5'8" player. Let's see what his body type is, right? So there's 5 new players actually today. So this card is an average body type. So average body type by itself, by default, for the meta of the game is not crazy. But the marksman would give him a +10 for finishing boost with a 5-star weak foot. That would be very, very nice. Player traits, flare trait. Doesn't have like the outside foot shot trait or anything like that, which I'm not like completely against, to be honest. But it's a card that if people were to actually use in their team, mainly for fun, I would say, you could probably give him like a hunter as well, to boost the pace as much as possible and the shooting. You would just have to work with dribbling a little bit more, which for some people they wouldn't mind, because I think with the 99 agility, 99 balance, like, it could compensate well for it. But at the end of the day, I do think that the average body type will probably affect that a little bit. 99 stamina is actually good too, because you can actually use that in the side positions as well. So not a bad player by any means. The other cards that we have here is going to be from the objectives, which is the milestone card. So the first one is going to be for Xherdan Shaqiri. With this card, we were talking about a little bit earlier. So his card is formatted very strangely, but if you actually look at his in-games, he has 5'7" height, medium low work rates, left-footed, 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. So that's very cool to work with, of course, because if he has a good medium low, that would be awesome for sure. In-game player traits, he has the flare trait, which can be cool to work with too for fun. But the in-game attributes for this card is set up very strangely, because some people are giving him like different things, right? So you could totally just give him a hunter chemistry style and use his dribbling for what it is, of course, but it's just one of those things where it's like, of course, you're gonna feel like you're missing one thing or another. Let's take a look at the card here, right? So my first thought, you guys know by default, I got to improve dribbling, because dribbling is weird in this game. I want to give him the marksman because it gives him that +10 for finishing while boosting his dribbling as much as possible. He'd be working with decent pace. His passing is great. I would most likely use him as a cam in a team because his stamina is low. And, you know, if his stamina is low, but I give him a marksman to feel as responsive as possible, that would be great. The thing about Shaqiri too is that he also has his own body type, so that could actually be very helpful for him to be very nice in game. He would still be working with really low agility, but his balance is really high, so I feel like that could compensate for the low agility a little bit because of the fact he's a 5'7" player. So it's just a matter of whether or not he's an explosive player on the pitch with that medium low work rate. Like, you guys know Garincha from the icon stops when I reviewed him, a great attacking AI with the medium low work rates, but with Xherdan Shaqiri, not exactly too sure about that. The next cards that we have here is a few objectives. So we have the main one that is Robinson, if you actually unlock all of the cards. And we have some individual cards here that don't look too bad as well. So if we look at the player traits for Let's Get, he has the finesse shot traits, the flare traits. Finesse shot trait is okay to have. It's not going to be anything too special. But with a card like this in the midfield position, most likely playing in the 3 midfield setup or 2 midfield setup on a shadow chemistry style, could actually be pretty solid. Why? Because if you take a look at his in-games, 5'10", high work rates, he has a 5-star weak foot, which is fantastic to work with, 4-star skill moves, right? So for a midfielder playing in the meta of the game, definitely usable. But this card is probably mainly going to be used as a card that gives you that link to the main Robinson card because of him being American, right? So high work rates is fantastic. It's really good for the meta of the game with the 92 for stamina. And with this card in game, if you were to give him the Shadow Chemist style to boost the pace, boost the defense as much as possible, it's usable, but he'd be lacking in physical in regards to aggression, not in strength. I would prefer aggression over strength with the pace you can boost on the card, but it's still usable for what it is. Most people are probably going to be using him for SBC fodder, but you guys know the vibes when it comes to the FIFA stuffs. Next up we have is Moreno. So Moreno, again, very strangely formatted too, but he still looks really cool on a marksman. Some people are giving him a maestro. Though my problem with giving him a maestro is that his finishing is not being improved as much as possible, right? Because with this card, 5'6", high medium work rates, right-footed, 5-star skills, 3-star weak foot, he's a smaller player, right? So because of him being a smaller player with, let's take a look at the body type here. So with his body type being short and lean, which is unique because it's usually short and lean minus that have like that strong physical presence while being good at dribbling, which is awesome. That's why Zola is actually pretty sick regardless of his dribbling stats. That would be interesting to try out for sure. Him being small is very interesting, but I really feel like boosting the finishing is going to be a very important thing to do for a card like this because he has the outside foot shot trait, right? So that with shot power being really high, you're working with some pretty decent long shots, right? The outside foot shot trait I do feel like could compensate really well for a card like this that is as small as he is. I could definitely see a lot of people adding, again, the Maestro Chemistry style. I just don't like that you don't really boost the finishing on the card, but you do boost like other areas of it, right? So it's just one of those types of situations for Moreno. And then the main guy, guys, is going to be for the center back, right? So the center back Robinson card is mainly squad battles or division rivals if you're playing with an MLS team, which is pretty cool, but most people in the elite division might not do that. It depends on the person, really. With Robinson, he looks pretty cool for certain reasons, and then obviously he's off for certain reasons too, right? So if we take a look at his card in game, he's going to be working with essentially perfect pace, right? So he's going to have 99 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, not essentially, but it is perfect pace. But defense is being improved massively to be in the mid 90s, high 90s area with some pretty decent physical capabilities, right? I wish his aggression was a little bit higher because usually when strength and aggression is like an 88 for both, like it's a really nice cutoff for these cards. Passing looks really solid on him. Dribbling you would have to experiment with in game. I don't think it's going to be like super terrible though because of how high his agility is. But it's more going to be like the on the ball movement stuff that I feel like is going to affect the card a little bit. But because he's a 6'2" player, high and average body type, with really good pace, I can see him being a very solid center back to use as well. Main problem would probably be medium work rates, which isn't terrible. It's just not ideal. It's usually better to have the medium high work rates instead, but regardless, still some decent stuff there. High and average body type with a good weak foot as well is definitely very cool to work with. All of that, and we also have a new loading screen that is showing off the new FUT birthday cards as well as the confirmed icon moment cards. So they just released this information, honestly, because people just get this information. So you can see the FUT birthday getting leaks with the cam cards, 5-star, 5-star, 4-star, 5-star for Atletico Madrid player, a 90 rated card with a 4-star weak foot, 5-star skill move. So I'm very excited about this promo coming out. And then we have the icon moments that's going to be out in 2 days. So I like that they're actually splitting both of the promos and not adding the icon moments with the FUT birthday, because then that's just, you know, it's really cool when you split them as much as possible so that people can save their packs, try to get an icon moments, maybe, probably not going to happen, but you never know, right? And then they can open it with the FUT birthday. So it's a cool promo to open packs with for sure. But with the icon moments card, you can see that the main cards here are Ronaldinho, Zidane, and I totally forgot the third one there. But yeah, very cool that they're definitely coming out 2 days from now, which is really sick. And then the third one is Puskás, right? So Puskás, usually very nice card. We did the review for pretty much every single icon moments card. Zidane looks insane. You know, a card that you're probably going to give an engine or a shadow to. Ronaldo is usually an absolute monster in the game. He just takes demon shots. And then Puskás being in the game, he's always super fun, right? So this weekend, there's going to be a lot to do for sure. Definitely a lot of very exciting things. I'm probably going to finish a lot of the reviews for the FUT birthday because they actually leaked the full team, which I'm kind of thankful for, because when we did the leaks yesterday, we were right on, not right, but the predictions were right like 70% of the way there, which is pretty good. But for the new FUT birthday cards, you know, they have Luis Suarez, Cruz, Alan, Nuno Mendes, Grealish, Odegaard, Di Lorenzo, Bebu, Guerrero, Ruben Vezo, Toredo, Kamada, and Abraham, right? So a lot of people are complaining about this promo already, but the people that are complaining are people that do not use different squads. Let's be honest, right? Because all of these cards are going to be cool in their own ways, except for maybe... well, I mean, they have their own, like, I view FIFA differently, right? Like, when I look at these cards, except for Bebu, to be honest, I think Bebu is like super far down the pecking order. But every card here has its own variable, right? So Japanese links with Kamada. So if you did some Japanese cards in your team, that's like some cool links you can work with. So that would be very cool. Tammy Abraham, physical type striker. Again, doesn't look that crazy. It makes sense that they make that card the objective, let's be honest, right? Because they do that most of the times. But, you know, could be a decent physical type striker. Who knows? We'll see. Odegaard on a Hunter looks really nice. Grealish on a Hunter looks really good too. Maybe depending on the situation, could be a finisher as well. Nuno Mendes looks like an absolute monster, because it's very important that they boosted his pace to be at a 95, because it's going to be an obvious chemistry style, like an anchor chemistry style for him, which is awesome. I could see Alon being very expensive, because Alon is usually the type of card that performs similar to a Conte, but because he's been boosted drastically with the medium-high work rates, that's pretty insane to work with. Tony Kroos, for someone who is a five-star player on a shadow chemistry style, they've definitely given him some very, very good improvements as well. Because base card stats for defense looks good for 83, I could see him being nice on an engine chemistry style too. Engine I have to put on everybody because dribbling in FIFA is awful, right? It's just kind of how it works. Suarez, like we mentioned in the video yesterday, because of the FUT birthday cards, they really have to format his shooting a certain way, where if I give him the engine chemistry style, his base card stats for shooting needs to be good, right? So if we take a look and see here, with the Luis Suarez card, you could see just from the rule breakers, right, that if I give him the engine, you know, the dribbling is going to be increased, which is going to be very important, but base card stats for shooting needs to be good. So this card is at an 87 right now, whereas this one is at a 94. So I do think that they actually did a good job with him, right? Hopefully you don't even have to touch the dribbling. You could just give him like a Hawk chemistry style or something to boost his physical shooting and pace. That would be absolutely incredible, because Suarez is the type of guy that because he has the high medium work rate, you could just use him as like a physical oriented cam as well, and it would work out really nicely, especially for that 3-4-1-2 tactic, right? Torreira, I think as long as Torreira has a high or a medium high, then it's perfectly fine. So let's see what that is for him. Torreira, I think I put too much R's for that. How do you spell this guy's name? Am I crazy? Where is he? I just lost him wholly. No, I spelled it right. Torreira. What's his rating? Where? Am I blind? I'm blind. Guys, oh, I'm stupid. I'm searching for him. He's not in the game yet. Oh, guys, sometimes I have make for the stupid moments, okay? I have make for the stupid. Okay, so him being medium high is important. So that's good. Medium high with these stats, perfectly fine, because you're going to give him a shadow chemistry style. Ruben Vezo for Portuguese Liga Santander links is awesome, especially if they format the pace a certain way, like we mentioned in the review yesterday. Guerrero, they improved him way more than I thought they would, which is awesome, because now you can give him an anchor or a shadow, and he can pretty much play in most of the positions on the pitch, which is awesome. You can actually use him as a left mid, because for this promo, they're changing skill moves, they're changing weak foot. So because they're doing that, this card could be really sick in most of the positions on the pitch, which is awesome, right? Bebu, I could see being complicated to use unless he is formatted correctly with a finisher chemistry style, which obviously we'll only be able to tell when the card comes out. And then, you know, a right back from the Serie A that gives you Italian and Napoli links, especially for someone like Koulibaly, is a fantastic card to release. So again, a lot of people are, oh, Abraham's stats are predicted. Abraham's stats are predicted. Okay, that's good, because if this is actually his stats, that would be like, here's what they have to do to Abraham, because it's a physical type striker, just like I do with the players like Morata, Icardi, is that an engine chemistry style needs to be good on them, okay? Like their base shooting needs to be high enough, like Icardi in the 90s, so that if I give him a finisher, he'll be usable in the meta of the game. So that's good that that's a prediction for him. And they're also missing, apparently Bruno Guimarães is leaked for the FUT birthday as well. And Bruno Guimarães, if he's actually released, is probably going to be a good SPC because his work rates are good. He gives you Brazilian links, and it's a card that you're mainly going to use in the CDM position if that leak is actually correct. So yeah, guys, we have a long weekend ahead. Definitely going to be very, very busy. There's literally 12 cards here that I see. On the first day, I'll try my best to get like at least like 7 vids, right? It's going to be a little bit tough, but we'll do our best, obviously. Because with this, there's a couple of midfielders. Nuno Mendes will be easy to review on my main account. I don't have a problem with that. Some of these cards I would have to buy certain players to get links with them because midfielder reviews and defender reviews are way better in the lower divisions to do. Attackers is in the higher because you can try out more shooting angle, or attackers in the lower to try out more shooting angles and stuff. But I love midfielder and defender reviews when I'm playing the game normally. It's way more fun to do that. So that's why I have it for both accounts nowadays. But yeah, definitely a long weekend ahead. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm looking forward to it, man, because it's some weak sauce, my dude. It's some weak sauce. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video today. I will catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.